it will be like your own lock and key. Look at that! It's so strong.
You need to wake up.
Hey everyone, it's Wildman, and in today's video we are going to be diving into some pretty disturbing YouTube channels that I'm pretty sure are going to disturb you. There is a ton of stuff that we are going to be covering in this video, ranging from some pretty disturbing anomalies to some extremely dark pieces of horror that will definitely leave you scared for the rest of the week. But I'm really excited for this video. I had a lot of fun scripting it. There's a ton of YouTube channels on this list that are just very well done, and I think you guys are going to enjoy it. But before we begin, please don't forget to subscribe. It does this cool animation now, as well as liking the video and commenting bruh. And yeah, all of these things do help support me, so if you could do them, it would help me out a lot, and I can keep bringing you guys these videos. Also, really quick little update on me, but if you don't really care, timestamp right here. So I am in the process of moving, which is pretty exciting, but also bittersweet at the same time, because this is the last time we're going to be filming in this area. So on the next one, do expect to have an entirely different setup. I'm going to try to make it look nice, so please bear with me. But it is really exciting because it's my first official apartment. Right now I rent out a rental unit in a family member's backyard, which is why I wanted to tell you guys and thank you guys so much for continuing to support me, because I definitely would not have been able to move out without you guys' continued support. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to thank you guys truly from the bottom of my heart. We're almost at 200,000, which is extremely unbelievable. Like, my mind can't even fathom that number. So thank you so much for, returning to my videos. It means so much to me. But yeah, let's get into the video. So this first channel that I did want to take a dive into is called LyraHorroz. The channel is mostly known for the analog horror short that was uploaded a few months back called Radar. But in addition to this highly praised analog horror short, I also did want to cover one of the channel's first videos called Trying to Find My Presents, 1999. In this one, we follow someone recording on a home video camera during the Christmas season. The entire vibe of the house is extremely eerie, and there seems to be no one else in the house other than this person recording. The person recording proceeds to zoom in on this candle with a fairy printed onto it, which also happens to be the thumbnail of the video. So as to any significance of this little angel, we'll have to see. Towards the end of the video, the person goes up to the door of the home and is now pretty far from the Christmas tree. And the video kind of just ends there with nothing really happening. There's also something that I thought I'd mention that happens at the end of the video. The camera is facing the tree, and in those last couple of seconds, there does seem to be a shadow that appears in the last 2 seconds of the video. But it is really unclear if something was caught on tape, or if this is simply the camera focusing incorrectly. In the description it states, "Everyone else was gone from the house, guess they made plans. Why didn't they tell me though? I'm sure it'll be fine. Was just looking around the house and seeing if I could find some of my presents." And with that description in mind, it really does make me think that this was just a kid recording days leading up to Christmas. And the entire feel of the video does remind me a lot of Skinamarink, if you guys have seen that movie, where there is a lot of downtime and not a lot of things happening, but simultaneously it's building that feeling of suspense the entire film. But yeah, not a lot to talk about in this video, but I did want to include it to give some context as to where the creators started before we dive into their more renowned work, which is this short film called Radar. An analog horror short film that had been in development from what I can gauge on the channel at least 4 months, but most likely way more than that. Alright, so the video starts off with this warning that I do want to include here as well.
Warning. The feature you're about to view contains harsh colors and pulsing light that may be harmful to certain viewers. If you proceed and at any point feel like you're experiencing symptoms of photosensitive epilepsy or seizure, Please seek medical attention immediately.
And once we get past that, the first thing that we do see is the American flag, followed by this message. Saturday, August 26th, 2000. Something strange happening yesterday. I've put a camcorder on the bookshelf by my window in hopes of recording it. Since the event happened at around 4:15 last night, I set an alarm to wake myself up and press record around them. And then we do get to see the recordings that did take place during 4:14 a.m. And what happens throughout the night can only be described as extremely creepy and just purely unsettling, because we're introduced to a character named Nathan and his encounter with this entity. The face asking Nathan if he can hear him, while Nathan begs the face to leave him alone.
It's you again.
Can you hear me?
I'd like to ask you to leave.
Hear me?
Are you even listening to me? Get out of here. Oh, jeez. What the hell are you?
Lonely.
And that line that the face delivers to Nathan really makes you begin to think. While in most horror adaptations, protagonists are terrorized because of some vendetta or simply for sport. However, this is a very interesting approach because the face tells Nathan that he's terrorizing him because it's lonely. Sunday, August 27th, 2000. It was far worse last night than it was on Saturday. I learned last night that it isn't pre-recorded, at least I don't think so. It's trying to talk to me. That face in my television. I'm scared, but I'm going to keep recording anyway. Maybe ignoring it will help. And the next day, Nathan encounters the face once again. However, this time things are a bit different.
Can you hear me?
While the first night the face would repeatedly ask if Nathan can hear it, this time it only asks once before losing its temper. I can remember recording the footage, typing these up, but I can't remember the days anymore. I can't tell what that thing wanted from me or why. I can't get it to stop showing up. I can't break the TV. Who does that face remind me of? Monday, August 28th, 4:15 a.m.
Nathan, you need to wake up.
Go away. And stop making yourself look like that, damn it.
What's the matter, Nathan?
You know exactly what you're trying to remind me of. I just don't like it. Ow! For the love of God, can you shut up?
And as to what is going on right now, there are three important things to note. The first is that the face is replicating the face of someone that Nathan knows to mock him. The second is that there is something the face is trying to tell Nathan, but that he hasn't figured it out yet. And lastly, perhaps the weirdest part of the encounter is that this time around, Nathan is scared when the face leaves him alone.
Good night, Nathan.
No, please. Don't leave me.
Completely contrasting his feelings in the previous nights, now he's asking the entity to stay, which does feed into this next segment in the short. Because after the face disappears, Nathan is left to wander the home, and what he finds is extremely disturbing. Nathan is left to wander this corridor filled with eyeballs in the walls, and in the video's transcript, Nathan is saying, "After hours of limping, blood running from my open wounds, I found the door. It was just an old mattress they'd strung up to look like one." And while this is all happening, we can also see that the face is escaping the confines of the TV. And what happens next is Nathan is back watching TV. However, the room is very different this time around. It's red and looks like an alternate version of the one that Nathan was in on that first night. And what happens during this segment actually did take me aback a bit, because it's genuinely one of the most horrifying scenes I've seen in a while. Like, this did actually freak me out, so viewer discretion advised.
Where are my hands? Where are my hands? Somebody please.
Tuesday, August 29th, 2000. The stench in my room has become more and more pronounced. I've tried opening the window so it would go away. I can't get it open. I can't get out. Can't get out. Get out. I vomited so much last night that the floor became red. Red? That's not what it's supposed to look like. Wednesday, August 30th, 2000. A concerning amount of footage from last night is missing. The following is what remains. And right now I do want to put a TW for self-damage, and it isn't shown, but it is said through text, so timestamp here if you do want to skip it. I tried banging my head against the wall until it split open, but it keeps going through. I need to get out of here. Okay, so this is where the video really starts to take a shift in pacing, because oddly enough, we are shown footage of Nathan outside of the house. Dated on August 31st, it's just a day after the events of everything that's just happened.
Hey, what took you so long, man?
Shut up. Camera, any takers? Oh, yeah, there we go. Yeah. Okay, sorry, I just gotta light up real quick. Whoa, this one's a bit faulty. Hey, I can still do it.
Hey, I thought you said you were gonna try to quit.
Quitting is a strong word.
And within this footage is showing Nathan going out with his 3 friends, Aiden, Sam, and Max. The friends begin to light up in the car, specifically Nathan, to which Sam begins to prompt Nathan, saying, "I thought you were trying to quit." And this is pretty important because the most likely reason that Nathan started using again is because of the past few nights. And then the friends end up driving to a Blockbuster, RIP, and then we get some pretty fun dialogue from the friends that really establishes the group's dynamic.
I don't even have a living room. You just want to come to my place so you can play my Dreamcast.
Nuh-uh. I'm a Nintendo boy through and through. Wait.
Okay, say that when I woke up in the middle of the night and I literally saw you with TV at like low brightness playing my fucking copy of Sonic Adventure.
And they also decide on watching the movie The Sixth Sense that night, which was this movie that came out in 1999 starring Bruce Willis as a child psychologist working with a kid named Cole. Throughout the movie, Cole claims that he is visited by ghosts, and so Bruce Willis is tasked with helping him work through this. However, spoiler warning right now, Bruce Willis was a ghost the entire time. And the famous line being, "I see dead people."
I see dead people. In your dreams? While you're awake?
So this may be being used as some sort of foreshadowing device in this short film. After the movie, we get some opinions from the group on the film.
Alright.
I mean, it was all of the actors did a phenomenal job. The twist was great. The directing and cinematography was top notch.
Even the kid wasn't annoying. The kids are always annoying.
But unfortunately, after this brief intermission of fun and laughter, we're brought right back into the horror as soon as Nathan leaves the car. Because once he leaves his friends and looks behind him, the car has just vanished. And Nathan is back inside the alternate world.
No. I'm here again. I was so close this time. I know it's you. Can you please just say something?
This is the farthest we've ever come, the two of us. Before you is a choice. If you truly wish to be free, step forward and open the door. Or you can turn around, walk the other way, and we can do this all over again.
And it's here where we pretty much uncover everything that's happening here. Nathan has been reliving the same 5 days on loop for who knows how long. But the face does tell him that he's never made it this far before, because in every previous cycle it's just been too much for him and he's been forced to start over. However, this time Nathan has made it and is finally able to decide if he wants to break the cycle. The face even saying, "For both of our sakes, make the right choice," but never discloses who they are.
For both of our sakes, Nathan, please make the right choice. I can't make you do this.
What are you?
Nathan then decides to go through the door, thus breaking the cycle. He is free, but at what cost? His home is empty, broken, and forgotten. The face speaks to him one last time.
I'm so sorry. I know this is hard for you, believe me. But it's time to move on now. You're free.
Will anybody remember me? Will anybody even care?
I've made sure of that. Goodbye, Nathan.
Goodbye. Thank you.
The last thing we are shown is the date, Tuesday, September 1st, 2009, 9 years later. Okay, so there are a ton of theories as to what is happening in this short film, but I did want to formulate my own before digging into anybody else's. So at the beginning of the video, we are met with a face and Nathan, with Nathan seemingly being tormented by this entity with no way to access the outside world. That is until the 5th day, where Nathan is allowed to go outside and visit his friends. But as soon as he leaves them, he's back in the world that he thought he had escaped. However, after sitting on this short for a couple of days and revisiting it a few times, I feel like this is more so telling the story of a human trafficking victim, someone who went out with their friends. However, when they were walking back into their house, someone had kidnapped them and took them into this room we're seeing throughout the footage. The footage his captors took of him, because it does also seem like they were torturing him and were going to sell or broadcast the footage for a price. And we also see that they are psychologically torturing him as well with the TV, also cutting off his hands while he was heavily sedated, which is why he doesn't realize it until he wakes up, and toying with him by letting him explore the area with fake doors made just to mock him. Nathan has been watching his last moments alive while he's been in purgatory, and by the end is given another chance at life with a new identity. That way the ones who took him can never find him again, but unfortunately neither can those he loved. I've also seen a lot of people say that Nathan has been in a coma this entire time, but that would be kind of odd, I think, especially considering that he wakes up in this abandoned home, which if he was in a coma, he would probably just starve, but it would make sense for the endless cycle he was in, as well as the time skip. But the character that I really want to dig into is the voice at the end, or the face. I thought that the face was someone who cares about Nathan at the end of the day, and has the appearance of someone that Nathan cared about, maybe even a parental figure or some loved one. They also seem to be trapped inside of the loop alongside Nathan, as they say for both of their sakes that he needs to break the cycle. But again, this is pretty strange considering the fact that the face has been tormenting Nathan the entirety of the first 4 days. But on the 5th day, the face is helping him. The ending of the short is also something that's left pretty ambiguous, because the face tells Nathan that no one will remember him now that he's back. So perhaps all of the memories of him were wiped, just like in Spider-Man No Way Home. But the way that the face tells Nathan this, it doesn't seem like a punishment.
Will anybody remember me? Will anybody even care?
I've made sure of that.
Thank you.
More so, it seems like a way for Nathan to be truly free. Or perhaps even on a brighter note, Nathan was killed in 2000 and is now being given another chance at life at the cost of everyone he cared about forgetting about him. And rather than holding on to the memories of his life in purgatory for the rest of eternity, now he has a chance to build a new one. But yeah, there's also this comment that summarizes Pastra's theory on the film that I do want to include. Because imagine you were dead, reliving your last day on Earth again and again without realizing it, all while being tormented by a being trying to explain your death to you in the most horrific ways possible. Situations like this actually happen, bearing the supernatural stuff because no one knows, etc. But tragic events don't always have a build-up. They can happen suddenly and out of nowhere for no reason. Just look at Nathan in this video, someone who most likely had a normal morning, later that night went to see a movie with some friends, they come home, turn on the TV, only for someone to break into their house, kidnap, torture, and murder them. But again, these are all theories and up for interpretation, unless you are the creator, of course. But I do think that that's the intent of this short film, made with the intention to spark speculation as to what's truly going on here. And as great pieces of art usually go, they're up for you to decide and interpret in your own way, which is something that I do really like about this short film. Not only is it extremely terrifying, but it's also pretty thought-provoking. But yeah, I really did enjoy this analog horror film. It was super amazing to watch, so hopefully we get more from this very talented creator and their team. So if you do want to support Lyra and the team, I'll have the channel linked in the description. Alright, so this next channel I wanted to take a look at is called TheEastPatch, which has produced a ton of animations on the channel. However, there is one video series on the channel that really piqued my interest. It's a series called Angel Hare, which is this series that focuses on a character called Angel Hare, and their guidance to help you with your struggles through the power of faith, and at times helping you to learn how to block your door with a chair.
It will be like your own lock and key. Look at that! It's so strong. Now let's get in the closet.
The series goes into some pretty dark places and unexpected twists, so I am pretty excited to show you guys this one. In this first episode, we learned that Angel Hare was a show the protagonist, Jonah, used to watch when he was a kid. He says he found an old VHS tape at a thrift store, awesome, and is off-put by what he finds, because in the tape, the main character of the show is different from what he remembers.
Angel Gabby. Oh, Angel Gabby.
Good morning, Francis. I love to hear you call. Oh, have you brought a new friend with you?
Yes, but I'm fearful, Angel Gabby. I never know what to say.
That's okay, Francis. Meeting new people doesn't have to be scary. Just introduce yourself and ask them to do the same. Hello there. My name is Angel Gabby. What's yours? That's a beautiful name.
And so he goes up to dig some of his old recordings up to compare the two. In the VHS copy, things proceed as normal, as any normal Christian show does, with themes of kindness and Bible verses sprinkled on in there.
Faith and hope give us the strength to face every challenge.
The whole thing kind of reminds me of VeggieTales, which is also a Christian show.
I mean it! We should go back to Egypt. Huh? We were in slavery! Nothing is perfect.
And in the recordings, we can see that the Angel Hare addresses Jonah by his name.
Hello there. My name is Angel Gabriel. What's yours? It's wonderful to meet you, Jonah. I hope I can be a good friend to you.
But in the VHS copy, that is simply not present.
What's yours? That's a beautiful name. It's wonderful to meet you, and I hope we can be friends.
In the following videos, these themes persist, but only get increasingly more disturbing the farther we go. Because in the second installment, Jonah says that he tried to find all of the information he could about the show, other versions, regions, and releases. He even says that the distribution company repackaged old kids' shows, but went bankrupt in the late 90s. The original publisher, though, Wreath of Life, doesn't even show up anywhere, not online or in business records. Then going on to say that the differences in this second episode are no longer subtle. In it, Angel Hare begins the episode by telling Francis that the day is beautiful and they shouldn't take it for granted.
It's a beautiful day, Francis. We shouldn't take it for granted.
Oh, but Gabby, how can I have the strength to face the day? All the rain has got me shivery and sad.
Oh, Francis, it's simple. Faith and hope give us the strength to face every challenge.
And so Angel Hare tells him that all he has to do is have faith and hope. Again, reestablishing that this is a pretty heavy Christian show. Also, I should probably mention that Jonah was also most likely brought up Christian as well, given that his name originates from a character in the Bible, and his parents probably had him watch this. Most likely the mother, and we'll dig into that later. But things start to get weird when it switches to the VCR recording, aka the version that Jonah saw when he was a child. Because in this version, Angel Hare's tone begins to change. She tells him that he needs to be strong and that she will show him.
Got me shivery and sad.
You will need strength to be resilient during times of comfort, and fortitude to be brave during times of heat. I can show you how to be stronger,
use some fortitude.
even though you're so small.
What she does next is take Jonah into her home and shows him how to keep his room safe, to which Jonah cuts in, saying that she always knew what he needed. And Angel Hare shows Jonah how to barricade his door with a chair.
First, let me show you how you can be stronger than your enemy. Like David's little pebble against Goliath, this little chair is going to be stronger than anyone who comes to your door. If we put it backwards like this, it will be like your own lock and key. Look at that! It's so strong!
And then, creepy enough, tells Jonah to go inside of the closet.
Now let's get in the closet. The dark can be scary, but it can also be peaceful. Instead of letting the sounds and darkness make you fearful, look at God's blessings and concentrate hard on something you're thankful for. This is how your mind can be strong too. I like to take a big, slow breath to keep me calm. Would you like to try? Very good, Jonah. Now you don't have to be scared, even if he finds you.
And this whole time, it seems like Angel Hare is trying to calm him down during a home intrusion. It's just very off-putting. In the next video, Jonah continues his search into these tapes and adds that Angel Hare completely breaks character in this episode. Because after explaining to Francis that words are more powerful than a sword, she speaks directly to Jonah and says this.
But remember, Francis, the real sword of the Spirit isn't a weapon. Ephesians says it's the sharp wit and powerful depth of his word.
Oh, good. I'm no good at fighting actual battles.
Not once if he's not coming back for a while.
And Angel Hare begins to tell Jonah what to do if he's ever afraid, referring to the advice she gave him in the last tape. But in this one, she tells Jonah to pick up the thing on the table and to show it to her.
Do you remember what we decided to do if you're ever afraid? I want you to take that off the table very carefully, only holding the handle. It might be heavy. Use both hands. Can you hold it up so I can see what kind it is?
And it's pretty clear that the item that Angel Hare is referring to is a gun. After which she tells Jonah how to take it apart, and more specifically, where to hide it so that it won't hurt anyone.
No, Jonah. Not the kitchen. A lot of people hide things in the kitchen and there's too much traffic for it to be safe. No, not the toy chest in your room. It would be very incriminating. We can learn that word later, but it could get you into trouble.
And at this point, it becomes pretty clear that Jonah is in an unsafe household and is afraid of his father, which is why Angel Hare told him how to barricade his door. Things in the series get pretty dark and, more importantly, really sad as well. And Angel Hare is the only one looking out for him. All the while, the now adult Jonah is having these memories flooding back to him, because most, if not all of these memories have been suppressed for years. In the next video called Little White Alibis, it starts off with Jonah saying this. I should be confused, but there is only calm and a sense of dread that something happened. Something tore us apart. In this episode, Angel Hare gets upset with Francis because he stole one of her feathers, and the worst part is that he lied about it, to which we start to get a little bit more of the Christian themes, saying that in the Bible it tells you that you should forgive, but also in another verse warning you about the consequences of lying. But when we switch to the VCR recording, she tells Jonah the complete opposite, that if he knows he will be in trouble, he needs to create a truth for later, or in other words, an alibi.
Be mad at me, but I shouldn't have lied.
Honesty is important, Jonah. You should always tell the truth. If you know you're going to be in trouble, you should create a truth for later.
Will you ever forgive me?
Go to a friend's house when something bad happens, and you won't have to lie about it when they ask you later. They are going to ask you what happened, Jonah, so you have to make sure you're gone when the time comes. We have to make sure you only have truth to tell.
So something did happen that is still unknown to us, as well as to Jonah. She then begins to add that if someone lies to you, it will be difficult to trust them again, and uses Francis as an example.
You can forgive Francis if you want, but it will be difficult to ever trust him again. Revelations warns us of the place prepared for liars. It's up to you, Jonah. What would you like me to do?
And it's then when we get this pretty dark revelation that Angel Hare will help plan the murder of Jonah's father. Because when Jonah tries to look up police reports from that year, all of the paperwork was lost in a flood. So perhaps Angel Hare had something to do with this as well.
It's all right. Take your time and think about it. It's not an easy decision.
Water crews arrived and were able to essentially close the floodgates, but not before the damage was done.
I was thinking the same thing. I'll help you however I can.
And in the second to last video, we are shown where Jonah and Angel Hare first met. Quote, "I don't want to scare Mom, so I haven't told her why I am here. To search for anything from my childhood, I didn't expect to find so much. I had no idea she went down the same rabbit hole I'm taking. I've only scratched the surface compared to her. I can't make her revisit this. Not until I find out how to find my angel again. What we did. There aren't enough pieces to figure out the past. I have to take this into my own hand. Here and now, I have to bring her back." Now, before we dive into the last video in the series, there's also this bonus tape called Last Letters, which focuses on some questions that the fans of the show sent in for Francis to answer, sort of like a Q&A. And while a lot of these questions aren't really contributing to the larger lore at hand, they are pretty interesting to listen to.
If you keep an eye out, maybe you'll spot your local Angel Hare hopping around and helping people. Alrighty, next is a letter from Frog. Frog asks how we get these letters and if we know where they're coming from. What a funny question. We get our letters through the mail like everyone else, Frog.
However, when we do get to the end of that Q&A video, we uncover something pretty disturbing because Nathan had actually sent in a letter to the show when he was a child. A letter that Angel Hare holds in her hand. "Gabby, I ask this. What did you do?" And now for the final tape called A Final Call. The recordings of her are set in stone. The live broadcast was how she spoke, was where she lived. I need to get her live again. I feel insane, but I'm going to live stream an episode. I'm letting her out. Part of me is desperate for this not to work, or this all to be a strange dream, but I have to know for sure. And so Jonah does what he sets out to accomplish. He live streams the recording, and it works.
Angel Gabby! Oh, Angel Gabby!
Hello? Gabriel? Angel Gabby?
Good morning, Francis. I love to hear you call. Have you brought a new friend with you?
Yes, but I'm fearful, Angel Gabby. I never know what to say.
Oh my god. What? It's me. Jonah, I'm here. Do you remember me?
I'm so happy to see you, Jonah. Just look how well you've grown.
And the series does end there, with Jonah completely disregarding the murder of his father. But I mean, can you blame him? In the description it says, "My angel and me, all that I need." Also, why is the ending kind of giving Seuss in that one episode of Gravity Falls? But I honestly really liked that Angel Hare series. It gave me a lot of flashbacks to those Christian shows that my grandmama used to make me watch. So that was always fun. Also, it's a really good story that was super well done. Alright, so this next channel that I did want to take a look at is called SpringTock, which is a channel that we have covered in the past, although you may not remember because it was a while ago, because it is the same channel that is responsible for the creation of Chimpy Chippa's tapes that we covered a while back. Because this is the same channel responsible for creating the Chimpy Chippa's tapes, which we did cover a while back. I think it's been a year now. Crazy. Which followed the story of a restaurant called Chimpy Chippa's and the haunting truth that lied behind those closed doors. It dove into some pretty heavy themes like possession and instances of some pretty gruesome scenes, so if you are interested in that video, be sure to check it out after this one. But after cooking up the series that is Chimpy Chippa's, SpringTock would release a series that may even be just as disturbing, if not more so. Although the series wouldn't garner as much as attention as did Chimpy Chippa's, it definitely should have because it's really well made. The series is broken up into 4 tapes, and it starts off by showing us someone running away from an unknown threat by a distress call. The man in the hazmat suit states that the Iron Book facility has been compromised. Anomalies have breached containment and are spreading rapidly.
Message for on High Command. The Iron Book facility has been compromised. Repeat, the Iron Book facility has been compromised.
He then starts talking about how simply being touched can infect you.
Anomalies have breached containment and are spreading rapidly throughout the facility. All personnel have been infected by touch and are turning into more anomalies soon afterwards. I don't have long either.
These are one of the last things that this person says before their fate is sealed.
Soon enough they'll reach the surface and it'll be it. They won't stop till everyone's like them.
In the second video, simply called Part 2, we're brought into the Anomaly Research Task Force HQ in Ironbuke QLD, which is the same place that the employee in the last video was killed. Throughout the facility, the alarms are blaring, all the while the mannequins seemingly teleport throughout not only the facility, but the surrounding area as well. After which we are shown some found footage from a person named Casey, who would record the following footage on December 13th, 2004, at around 7 p.m. The footage that Casey captures shows the entities making their way into populated areas. The footage starts off innocent enough, just a couple of guys messing around in a playground. But things get increasingly eerie as soon as something that shouldn't even be conceivable appears in front of them.
Oh shit! Where you at, Jack? Wait, what's that over there, bro? Nah, bro, that's getting weird.
The group ends up driving away, but the threat persists. And then the tape cuts out, to which we are then shown the infestation of Ironbrook. It's begun on the east side, but will continue to spread if nothing is done. In the third installment, we can see that the infestation has doubled in a matter of only 2 hours, beginning to spread to the west side of Ironbrook, after which we are given a public service announcement that the police have issued an emergency declaration under the Public Service Preservation Act. And as to what this means, because I honestly had to look it up, emergency declarations are to supplement state and local efforts in providing emergency services such as the protection of lives, property, public health, and safety, or to lessen or avert the threat of a catastrophe in any part of the United States. And these are usually enacted in cases of a natural disaster, civil unrest, armed conflict, or also for the sickness that occurred in 2020. YouTube won't let me say it, but you know. And this declaration was being made because of the mannequins that are rapidly taking over Ironbrook. We're then brought back to Casey's footage, which follows him and his friends after they left the park. The group tries to make their way inside of one of their houses, but they are followed. And the entire segment that we are shown is extremely unsettling.
Go that way, bro. Go that way. Back, work hard.
But before we get into the conclusion of this mini-series, I do want to kind of talk about how impressive this scene is. The entire scene where the group is going to the house where mannequins are just appearing out of nowhere, the whole thing is so seamless. It's just great editing and filming, so I did really enjoy this whole scene, so thanks for letting me see it. Alright, so getting into the fourth part of this mini-series, it begins by showing us what Casey and his friends are doing inside of the home. So it's been about 3 hours since the outbreak started, which was at 8 p.m, and it's now 11 p.m. And through Casey's recordings, we can just see the sheer amount of mannequins that are now surrounding the friend's home.
Wait, there's more of them out there.
Emergency alert issued for this region. Evacuation is strongly advised for any remaining residents.
And so the group does just that. They take their chances at evacuation, and while sirens are going off in the background, they do their best not to be heard. But Casey is too slow and is caught, while his friends are able to get away.
Jesus Christ, they're everywhere. The streets are full of those things. Survivors can find on French Road, looks like 3 young girls. Rescue operation underway.
Alright, so this last channel that I did want to show you guys is a channel called ElefterosPneuma, which is Greek and does translate to free spirit. And there are 2 videos on this channel that did pique my interest the most, one called Locust and the other called Mother. And these are supposed to be part of a series on the channel. In the first one called Locust, it begins by giving us a lesson on some fun and interesting facts about locusts.
Locust is derived from the Latin word locusta, which means grasshopper. These insects are normally solitary, but under specific conditions their numbers increase and they change their behavior and habits, becoming gregarious.
However, a bit into the video, the broadcast is cut out by a severe weather alert that will take a form of a sandstorm. to which it shows us the following counties that will be affected, and the list is extremely extensive to the point that there are 3 pages of counties, which having a sandstorm that large and extreme would definitely cause a multitude of casualties. Immediately after this, we're brought back to the program on locusts as if nothing happened. But about 30 seconds later, we're met with another cutout, this time more disturbing than the last. So creepy in fact that I was actually hiding in the comments while I was watching this video, because a face appears on screen and delivers the following message. Although it is in Greek, but when translated says, "Understand your place in this earth. You owe me your life. Help me find what I'm looking for, and I will help you free your friend. Just remember, it's your birthday." In the next video called Mother, we are shown a staff handbook for the Nirvana History Museum, which is essentially a training tape for a future employee. And what we are shown is some pretty baseline stuff like how to operate the museum when it's opened, where the cameras are, and when the museum closes, and how to close it properly, which includes turning off the lights, making sure room temperature is set anywhere between 15.5 Celsius and 21 Celsius. And this is to prevent infestation, mold, and corrosion. But when we get to the third step, things get a bit more eerie. As part of your shutdown duties to close the museum is to set the CCTV cameras to night mode to ensure that if anyone tries to break in, they will be caught. And creepy enough, we are shown an example of what that would look like.
So here is a brief preview of when night observation mode is off or on.
After this, we are shown a picture of someone with the caption, "I'm fighting my temptations. I play with Brian, I grow plants, Mother hates me. I feel alone, but I'm not alone. Mother is always there, watching me." But yeah, that pretty much does it for this video. Please let me know which one of these channels creeped you out the most, and be sure to check out all the mentioned creators in the description. Also, if you did enjoy the video, please don't forget to subscribe, like the video, and comment, bruh. Also, a huge thank you to my ultimate tiers, Kareem Arellano, Alejandro from the Tower, K-Pop Lover X3, and Knight98. If you want to support the channel and get early access to videos, it's only $1.99. But yeah, thank you so much for spending some time with me. It's always super great. Your time is super valuable, so I really appreciate you spending it with me. And yeah, see you later. Bye. Love you.